My goal is just to be the best version of myself, whatever that is. I want to be able to high-five myself and look in the mirror every single day and know that I gave it everything that I had and I did the best with what I had. And that is in everything, whether that is being a daughter, being a granddaughter, being a friend, being an athlete, whatever it is, whether it's in, any of my relationships that day, or whether it's warming up well, whether that's, workout number 5 that I did that day, whether it's with my nutrition. And I think if you do that with everything in your life every single day, you'll be happy with what you have, what you've got, where you're going. I know it sounds vague and it maybe sounds like it's not a goal, but there's a lot of pressure to that goal. I think sometimes when people say just go do your best, it sounds like it's taking pressure off. But there's a whole lot of pressure that comes with doing your best every single moment, every single day.
I think a lot of people from the outside looking in would say that a goal would be to win the CrossFit Games. And it's not. We don't talk about winning the CrossFit Games. Our goal, it's an exercise I have my athletes do, and Katrin does it, is I have them write down what's your definition of success. And they write down a 3 to 4 sentence definition of success. They post it up where they can see it every day. And our goal is just to live up to that level, that definition. If you can do that on a daily basis, we're achieving everything we could possibly ever want.
When you talk about the 22-year-old looking at their life and trying to figure out how to model their goals for long term, or what am I going to do with my job or my career and still try to be an athlete, it's do what you love doing and do it really, really well. As long as it's something as long as it's what you really love doing and you put everything you can into it, it's going to work out. It may not be exactly, you may not end up exactly where you want to end up, but you're going to end up where you should and where you will be genuinely happy with. So you might say all right, well, I want to be top 10 in the CrossFit Games next year, so I'm going to go for that. I'm going to do everything I can. And all of a sudden, you have an injury, or you get in a car accident or something happens and you end up not being an athlete anymore, but you end up speaking, or you end up it will take you down the right path. What won't take you down the right path is saying, I want to be top 10 in the games, and to do that I have to make money, so I'm going to work this other job and I have to do so and so other things, and so I'm going to spread myself amongst all of them, even though they're not things that I want to do. I have to do them because I want to be top 10 in the games. That's when I think people start getting lost and they can't ever get really good at what they want to do because they feel like they have to do all these other things that they don't like doing, if that makes sense.
So one of the greatest advantages an athlete can have is a competitive edge. It's really hard to figure out and fight and dig for that competitive edge because everybody is out there is trying to do the same thing. Setting a goal has nothing to do with your competitive edge. If setting goals, it's what we've all been told. If you set better goals and they're smart and they're specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and you have a nice way of getting there, and you have sub goals on how to get there, then that's crap. If it was he who sets the best goals will win the CrossFit Games. Everyone's trying to win the CrossFit Games. It's not about goals. It's about creating your competitive edge, and you got to work and dig for it. Matt Fraser has a competitive edge. Katrin Davidsdottir has a competitive edge. Katrin's is that she's more dialed in than you are. She's sacrificed more than you have. She did not eat crap all year, so she knows there's no single day that she woke up and everyone has this experience. Everyone wakes up that next morning and they're like, I wish I didn't do that last night. She never has that thought. No, she goes to bed every single day looking in the mirror saying, I gave everything I had today. That's her competitive edge. When she goes on the competition floor, she says to herself, and she knows, I'm as prepared as I can possibly ever be. This is the most prepared a human being can be for this competition. And I believe that no one else here has that same level of preparation or dedication. And because of that, in the long run, maybe not in this event, but in the long run, I got a pretty good shot at beating.
You weren't going all out. but you were really working on form, and this is one of the early times when we first started getting this down, which really works well. Okay, and you see that's going really well. It's not coming across, it's coming up. And I'll tell you, we'll stand up afterwards and I'll show you why. But, so that is out there. And watch Lisa's. See, hers is out.
Oh, yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
In that drill we do where we go like this, it pulls me up.
What I love about CrossFit is there's always room to get better in everything. I think that's kind of what keeps me coming back for more. It's always, whether it's something that I'm really good at, like handstand walking or snatching under fatigue, like I'm good at that and I can get better at that. And then there are so many things that I'm not good at that I have so much room to become better at, and everything in between. There's always room for improvement, whether it's more power, more endurance, be more skillful, improve my mindset. There's everything and anything. And I think that's the beauty of it. There's, if I have a problem in my shoulder or my back or whatever that is, there's no need to hammer my shoulder that day, because there's millions of other things that I can work on. I can save my shoulder. The same as if something's wrong with my back. Nothing's ever bad. You can turn any situation into a good by, okay, if I can't do my upper body today, let's make sure my lower body gets better. You can always get better.
The first year she won the games, it was shocking, I think, for everybody, including her. Like, I don't think she actually went to the games that year thinking, I want to win the games. I think she went there thinking, like, I want to do really well. And even Ben will admit, like, he did not think she was going to win the games that year. And I remember standing on the sidelines with Maya watching it and watching her finish and being like, oh my, what just happened? We must have said that 100 times. Like, did that just happen? Like, this is for real. I think Ben said that. Like, we were all literally just like in shock. I think goals are just great for people. And I think that, I think it's important to not just get hung up on setting like athletic goals. I think everyone's like, all right, so I need to be able to do 50 pull-ups unbroken, or I need to deadlift 400 pounds or whatever it is. And they get really hung up on that, and that's great. But like outside of your life, like again, it's like the whole overlap of like improving your outside gym life, make sure inside gym life great, and vice versa. And I just think it's important to like identify the things going on in your life that like you really just wish were a little bit better. Like you just become totally comfortable being average. And I just don't want to live a life where I'm just average. I want to be great at everything I do. I want to be a great neighbor. I want to be a great customer at the market down the street. I want to be a really safe driver. I want to, whatever it is, like I just want to be great at everything. And I think that's because I set all these goals all the time, and I'm always, like they're always in my face, and I put them on the wall, I put them on my phone, I tell people about them, it's just, I think it's important. I don't know if that is something, I don't know if that's how everyone's brain is wired or not, but it works for me, it works for our friends and our family, and it just seems like people that set goals like work hard to accomplish them, and they're people that keep improving every year instead of every year just kind of getting comfortable.